I'm Terry's sister. Thank you for noticing my lack of height. Yes, so Terry's my sister, my mom is Sandy, and Grandma was, well, she was Grandma. So I have something to read from Uncle Sheldon that he wrote. I'm going to start with that. And he entitled it, Life is One Big Education. And it says, this spring I was horsing around with my horse Phoenix. Some geese flew over us, and that set off another memory from my sometimes jaded past. I got partway fetched up in the Sandhill Slough area of New London, Minnesota. My mom and dad lived on 160 acres that was mostly pasture. They tended 2 children, sparse crops, a few cows, a litter of pigs, a flock of laying hens, and some geese. Wildlife flourished. They were sometimes troublesome. Water was hand-carried to the house from the pump house. As a toddler, I was naturally drawn to the pump house. There was mud, water spray, and cool drinks that came out of your nose. One day, I wandered off and found myself at the pump house. The goose, named Drake, if he tired of gulping bugs, watched the pump house. He soon had me down in the mud, stood on my chest, hissing and nipping at my delicate features. Dad once said that the only thing that grew on me was my ears. I saw Mom running towards us with her broom. She never had to hit the goose. He saw her and half flew away, honking like when a fox is near. It's a harsh way to understand why Mom carried her broom with a pail to the pump house for water. One sunny morning, I was peeing on the lilac bushes, like I was told to do. And again, this is Uncle Sheldon's story. So I was peeing on the lilac bushes, and I heard the sound the goose made when he tugged my dad around the place. And I knew I had to tell Mom. And I finally found her sitting on the kindling block. There was a gleam in her dark eyes. She was filing a new edge on the hatchet. Guess we know who won that one, huh?
You gotta read it 2 or 3 times.
I guess, yeah. I'm pretty quick, so I think I got it. Yeah, so I was one of the California grandkids, so I didn't get to see as much of Grandma as my cousins. But she always sent us things. I'm sorry. And in the obituary, you mentioned the boxes of candy at Christmas. And when my dad wasn't hogging it all, we would get some. And we've soon learned that there were certain things that were off limits because they were, dads. But yeah, we always look forward to that. And we knew we were loved. Grandma was, she was more loving than my other grandmother was. And she would call us for no reason, just to talk and see what was going on. Even as an adult, she would call me just to see how the kids were doing and how life was going. So she was more present than she really was, She wasn't physically present, but she was there for us. And when I had kids, she insisted, just like Stevie said, she was not a wealthy woman, but she insisted on sending them Christmas ornaments every year. And each one of them had their own set, and it went for, oh my gosh, I think it was 10 years. And every year we still take them out, and the kids know which ones are theirs, and so that's really nice. But my memory that I have of Grandma was that she was out in 2000 for Christmas, my mom had mentioned, and she stayed at my house for a few days. And my second son was 5 months old, and so she wanted to hang out with Nikki, basically. And there was this one afternoon where she was holding him, and he fell asleep in her arms. And it looked like a very uncomfortable position for Grandma. And so I was telling her, you can move, you can put him down even. And she said, oh no, I am not moving this precious sleeping baby. And she sat there for about 4 hours with him in that position because she soaked up every drop of him. So I do miss her and I love her. Thank you.
She loved you too.